and we'll call the meeting to order. May I ask for a roll call, please?
Sure. Chair Robbins,
Present?
Vice Chair Dees,
Present.
Commissioner De La Garza, Commissioner Freeman,
Present.
Commissioner Fontenot,
Present.
Commissioner Brown, Commissioner Mendez,
Present.
Commissioner Wanzer,
Present.
and Commissioner Wilson.
Present.
Quorum established.
Thank you very much. We have as our next agenda item an approval of absences for our April 22nd meeting for Commissioners Wanzer and Commissioner Wilson. Was staff notified of the absences?
On myself, actually, I tried to call, but it was too late. What happened, it will not happen again, is my network solutions server went down and I could not get on and I didn't have the phone number to call on my phone. So I called the next day and yes, I'm very apologetic. It will not happen again.
We certainly have all experienced that more recently thank you very much. Very appreciative of that.
Yes, for
I
sure.
apologize as well, and no excuse. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Are there any motions to approve the absences for April 22nd?
Commissioner Dees, I'll make the motion.
Commissioner Mendes, second.
Thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you very much. We have as well, the next item on our agenda is the approval of our minutes. We actually have 2 minutes to consider for review. The first was the April 8th special meeting for the consideration of the historic preservation plan, and we'll consider those first. Has everybody had a chance to review those minutes previously?
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions, amendments to propose?
No.
If there are no suggested amendments to the April 8th special meeting, would anybody like to make a motion to approve those minutes as they stand?
I'll make a motion to approve the April 8th minutes as they stand.
Thank you, Commissioner Wanzer. Is there a second?
Commissioner De La Garza, second.
Thank you so much. And then if all would, a simple aye, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you very much. And then we also have the minutes of our April 22nd regular meeting. Are there any comments or amendments proposed for our April 22nd meeting? In that case, is there a motion to approve the April 22nd minutes as they stand?
Commissioner Freeman, I move to approve the April 22nd minutes as they stand.
Is there a second?
Commissioner Dees, I'll second it.
Thank you very much. All in favor with an aye, please?
Aye.
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 Thank you all very much. City staff, may we welcome any public comment that you know or are aware of, or do we have any visitors joining us that would like to make public comment?
Good afternoon, Chairman Robbins. There was no public comment received in person or via mail.
All right, thank you. Anybody joining us have a public comment? Okay, thank you so much. We will, may I ask, would you prefer to do our Historic Preservation Officer's report at this time?
Yes, we'll go ahead and move item 6 before item 5, which is the Historic Preservation Officer's report.
Thank you very much. We welcome that.
I am Nixon Mendez, Assistant Director, Development Services and Historic Preservation Officer. We have some exciting news related to the month of May. As you know, May is the National Preservation Month, and our mayor had a proclamation on the 18th of this month. I think we have some photographs to show you related to the proclamation. Vice Chair Dees was present to receive the proclamation, and he had some wonderful words to share with those attending the proclamation. So I think we're trying to get the proclamation right sides here, hopefully. But anyway, this was held in council chambers, and several council members were present also. So again, thank you, Vice Chair Dees, for the proclamation.
It was an honor.
And also, I sent a notice out to the Landmark Commission related to the National Alliance of Preservation Commission training. There were 2 free trainings that were available via WebEx, and so there was one on community outreach, and then the upcoming one is on May 27th. And the one on May 27th looks really interesting, and I think pertinent to our community because it is focusing on our postmodern architecture. And so there's going to be discussion related to minimalist types of styles, brutalism, and so, you know, we do have modern here and postmodern, and it's something that, of course, we want to look at perhaps for Corpus Christi. So again, I encourage you, it's during lunch. And so I encourage you to sign up for that free webinar training on the 27th. The other thing I was interested in announcing is related to the historic survey database from the 1990s. As you know, we had several surveys that had been conducted by, was it Victor?
I forget her name.
Yeah, I think it was Victor who had conducted the surveys, and those were all hard copies. We've had one of our staff members here actually transcribe all of that into an Excel database for us. Sandy Velasquez Mendoza has done that, and I do have her tuning in this evening. She's done a tremendous job, and we're going to take that data and geocode it so we can map out those locations. We'll have that for use internally. And then we're working with our GIS division, of course, and they are looking at how we can also add that to our website so that we can visually depict those locations that have been surveyed and include the survey data. So this is an accomplishment. As you know, they were all hard copies, and so this way I think we can really share the information with the public related to these wonderful historic structures that you know, do have potential for designation. So Sandy, thank you for all of that work. Appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
And then I also wanted to report on the Ropes House, also known as the Steamboat House, which is of course located at Heritage Park. The Landmark Commission, because of the vacant structures ordinance, had approved demolition for the structure, and then the Parks and Recreation Department had actually identified an individual who could move and restore the structure. And Landmark Commission had, as part of their recommendation with the demolition, the requirement of having architectural drawings and a white paper before the building would be demolished. Well, in this case, it potentially would be moved. So there is an engineer with our asset management department who is working on the architectural drawings currently. And I spoke with an assistant director at the Parks and Recreation Department, and they are also going to satisfy the white paper requirement as well. And so I just wanted to let you know they're right now they're looking at the potential logistics for, you know, a potential move for that structure. And so I did want to let you know that that's in the works. I think it's exciting in that, you know, if that building could potentially be moved and restored, that would be a real positive for our Coastal Bend area. Let's see, and then also our next meeting, we're moving to June 17th. The reason being the regularly scheduled meeting conflicted with the COVID debriefing report. So we are moving that to June 17th. We potentially will present our historic preservation plan draft at that meeting if the draft is ready for presentation. And if that occurs, the meeting would be at 6:30 in the evening. And, you know, we were suggesting for that meeting to have a remote meeting. And I think under future items, Craig can address our meeting schedule, and he's prepared to discuss that with you with respect to the communications that we've received from the city secretary's office on in-person meetings and then remote meetings. So that concludes my report at this time.
Thank you very much for detailing all of those exciting developments. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Commissioner Days, I'd just like to give a big thumbs up and a big pat on the back to Sandra. We're talking about a lot of information that had to be digitized for those infamous green books. So God bless you. That's all I can say. God bless you.
Thank you. Wilson here, who is moving the ropes building?
The Parks Department has identified an individual and they're in negotiations right now. That if that were to occur, that would have to be authorized through City Council.
Are there any additional questions or comments, and perhaps especially for our new commissioners, any questions with regard to the Ropes House or any of the information? With regard to the upcoming schedule, Craig, is that something you'll address under future agenda items?
Yes, we will be addressing the virtual meetings versus the in-person meetings at future items.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Well, thank you very much for that report. Thank you for all of the staff who have contributed to putting that together. Thank you to Sandy. It's lovely to see you, and we're very appreciative to see a further iteration of those green binders and the accessibility which we'll have. It's nicely dovetailed as we're thinking about ways in which some of the treasures of our city, architecturally, culturally, historically, deserve preservation, and this is a great honor for that. With that in mind, it is our pleasure as a landmark commission to each year offer preservation awards, which honor two distinct entities in our city for fulfilling and enhancing some of the ways that we recognize the historically and culturally significant treasures of our area. So, the City of Corpus Christi Landmark Commission's mission is to promote the use of historical and cultural landmarks for the culture, prosperity, education, and general welfare of the citizens and visitors to our city. Our annual preservation project is to solicit nominations of local organizations and projects taking preservation to heart. This year, we are proud to announce two recipients of the City of Corpus Christi Landmarks Commission Annual Preservation Awards. The first award goes to the Downtown Management District for their work in promoting preservation and the Main Street program, and especially for highlighting the historic and potentially historic structures downtown through events, through the Downtown Vacant Building Ordinance, the Downtown Historic Survey, and the promotion of existing tenant space for new businesses. It is a vibrant and wonderful community and downtown space, and we're so grateful for the ways in which the Downtown Management District is highlighting that, not only for our community members who live here locally, but those that visit us as well. Our preservation award is a tangible award, which we are delighted to share soon with our recipients. But in the meantime, I believe that we had a picture of what it would look like. And we would like to welcome Ms. Barrera Mason to accept this award on behalf of the Downtown Management District. And Ms. Barrera Mason, if you would like to speak to the Downtown Management District's efforts in these regards, we welcome you to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Christine. Thank you, everyone who submitted us for this award. I think that at the Downtown Management District, we really value our community's history and really wanted to carve out space and create a pathway for others to be able to value that and reactivate those spaces as well. There's a quote that I'm reminded of from a book about activating vacant buildings, and it says that a community that stewards the reactivation of vacant structures is a sign of a community that believes in the vibrancy of its future. And so I think that whenever we're able to do that downtown, we really just kind of make a mark and really kind of stake that flag in the ground that we are going to continue to develop this vibrant downtown. And it is not without my team that any of this is possible. So I'd just like to say thank you to everyone on this, joining us on this call, including we have Jason and Erica and Alexis and Savannah and Roger. Everyone turned out. So thank you guys all for working day in and day out to help us realize this vision. And thank you to you, the Landmark Commission and city staff.
Thank you so much. We are so appreciative. I sent Ms. Barrera Mason an email actually a number of months ago. I had been away for a number of months in 2020. And the first time that my husband and I drove through downtown, we were a little concerned at first as we approached, because we thought with COVID-19, with the pandemic, with all of the ways that our lives have changed, what might have happened to the revitalization efforts downtown. And we were blown away with how vibrant and how dynamic it was, how utilized it was, how many people were out in safe ways. And it was one of my favorite moments of last year, kind of seeing that and realizing just the strength of the team that we have working downtown and thinking so carefully and wonderfully about how we can reutilize those structures and really kind of adapt them in our contemporary time. So thank you so much professionally and personally for that. I value that, and my family values that as well. Are there any other commissioners who would like to make any comments with regard to the Downtown Management District Award? All right, thank you so much. There's some comments in the chat. Again, congratulations and thank you. We are so appreciative. Our second preservation award is awarded to the Nueces Brewing Company located at 401 South Water Street. It was constructed in the 1930s to 40s and is a great example of the Art Moderne and streamlined styles. In 1946, it was the home of Gillespie Buick Company. Again, we truly thank you for revitalizing such a historic building and for committing to historic preservation, enhancing Corpus Christi's quality of life, and fostering revitalization. We would like to welcome Mr. Harper, Mr. Moore to accept this award and make comment. Additional professional contributions include Mark Adame, Christopher Hamilton, and the Ludicky Architectural Design Group.
Thanks so much. I wasn't prepared to speak, but I just thought I was going to watch all this. So we appreciate everything the Downtown Management District has done for us, particularly Alyssa. She held our hand through the whole TERS program. And had it not been for them, we probably wouldn't have landed this building. So we're greatly appreciative. Both Kayla and I, as soon as we saw this building, we fell in love with it. We didn't even look at any other spaces. And that was before we even had the business plan put together. So it all fell into place, and we're wise to the fact that it was with help from everyone. So we're appreciative. We want to see downtown grow and thrive just like everybody else does.
Thank you very much. It is just delightful to see the ways in which downtown is a vast space, right? That encompasses so many different dimensions, and we're particularly appreciative to the ways that the Nueces Brewing Company extends that space out to some of our really prime recreational areas. So thank you very much. Would any commissioners like to make any comments with regard to the Nueces Brewing Company?
This is Commissioner De La Garza. I'm sorry, I'm using my husband's computer and I don't know what he has going on with his camera, but congratulations, and we are big fans of your establishment.
Thank you.
Yes, ditto. Very nice.
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's such an honor this year to be able to, I think, even more than usual, to be able to make awards that have just honored the ways that places have and individuals have pivoted to offering historic preservation, family experiences, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic and all that that's required. And I think it speaks to the things that we want for our communities, the ways that we treasure our historical and cultural resources even more now than ever. So thank you very much. We're so delighted to honor you, and city staff will be excited to convey the physical awards to you in addition to what you've visually seen. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us, and thank you for the work that you do. If there's no additional comments, we would welcome the opportunity to move on to future agenda items.
Thank you, Commissioner Robbins. The first item for future agenda items is an announcement from our city secretary that we do have the option as a commission to meet in person in the future, or to continue meeting remotely. And this will be continued from the date of, let me pull this email 1 second. It'll be from June 4th that the governor of Texas, Governor Abbott, will most likely extend this Open Meetings Act where you can have virtual meetings. But staff would like to take it on ourselves to have a vote during this meeting, or we can send an email in which you can reply to choose either virtual or in person starting after June 17th. And June 17th would be the date for us because we do have a special meeting for our historic preservation plan. It's going to be scheduled at 6:30 and will be most effective if it is held virtually. So this will be a vote for all meetings from July until December. And so with your permission, you can either enact a vote now, or we can send an email so that y'all can respond. if y'all wanted to discuss.
Commissioner Dees, I'm all for going back to a in-person meeting.
I am too. I think I would enjoy a person meeting so I can meet these different people since I'm new.
Wilson here, I would suggest we keep it as malleable as possible, and I'm good at a distance, especially with summer coming in and a lot of people will be mobile and doing different things. I know I have a high school senior, and with June we will be doing a lot of visiting different colleges and touring those, and it would be great for me to be able to keep coming to the meetings virtually.
Commissioner Mendez, would it be possible if the ones that are not comfortable still virtual log in while the rest of us, if we're up to par and wanting to do it person, could we do a meeting that kind of combines both?
Yes, Commissioner Mendez, staff will have to check with our city secretary to see if it's possible to have a hybrid meeting. We can definitely move this decision to an email-based decision once we have more information, if that's appropriate.
Thank you. That sounds like that might be a good plan. And if you are able to check on that, I know in the past, City Council was holding meetings that included in-person and remote members of City Council simultaneously. So maybe that is an option. I do appreciate the desire to see one another and to interact, and then also recognizing historically summer is a time when quorum is more difficult to meet because people are on the move more. So thank you, Craig. If you will move that to an email following that information so that we can all weigh in, that would be appreciated.
And Commissioner Robbins, we can, we'll do a poll via email, and then we'll let you know the poll's results at the June 17th meeting so that we can discuss our options from there.
The June 17th meeting being in what format then? Still virtual?
The June 17th meeting will still be virtual, as the historic preservation plan will also be on Facebook Live, and our consultant is based in Austin, so it seems to make sense to hold it as a virtual meeting.
Perfect. Thank you. That sounds great. Is there any further future agenda items that you all would like to consider?
Commissioner Dees. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Nina was telling me that we have a Old Baby Cemetery report coming up in this next meeting. It might in the next regular meeting, I believe.
Yes, sir. Nina Nixon Mendez, Historic Preservation Officer. I think we're looking at doing that potentially at our July meeting, being that June would be dedicated to our preservation plan community meeting.
One thing I was wondering about for our for all of us commissioners in the past, we have held sort of annually a workshop, which has been a kind of open time to think about ideas that the commission might want to see implemented with regard to historic preservation, cultural tourism, and so forth in our area. A time to kind of reflect on previous action items that the commission has done, or to think about, envision ideas for the future. We have not held one in a while, in part because we've had the opportunity to weigh in on the historic preservation plan. But I wondered, as we kind of head into the second half of the year, if that might be something people are interested in holding again, and if we might think about in the second half of the year the time frame in which people might like to have that kind of roundtable workshop idea.
Great idea.
And Commissioner Robbins, this is Craig Garris for the city. In the past, that workshop has been effective for staff, also just communicating and answering any questions that commissioners have that they don't want to or have the time to ask during a commission meeting. So we could either do it during a regular meeting time, or in the past, I believe we had a special time picked out. There was a special meeting on the same month as another meeting, if that makes sense.
That makes sense to everybody?
It does, and I believe that's a great idea. But let's get past July's meeting. So let's look at the end of the summer, right about the time school starts, August or September.
Could we, city staff, is that something we could put on the agenda for one of our upcoming meetings to decide on a time frame for that? Pending, I know we're a little up in the air on the timing for the draft of the historic preservation plan and how that might shape our future meetings for the next 2 months. Could we put that for consideration for a date at one of our upcoming meetings?
Yes, city staff can include it on the July agenda for consideration of times and dates to have a kind of a workshop meeting in the future.
That sounds great. Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions, comments? Future agenda items?
It's Commissioner Mendez. I just want to backtrack to the downtown management district and tell them they're doing a fantastic job with the Runners Club downtown, that I'm actually a part of. And hopefully they can keep it going. It's amazing to see the growth that's going on with that club. And it's really exciting to be a part of it. And hopefully it can continue throughout the summer and through the rest of the year. So thanks.
Thank you very much. Well, if we have, are there any, before I adjourn, are there any additional comments or questions? All right, with that, may we entertain a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you very much. A second, please.
Commissioner Dees, let's do it.
All right, all in favor, a verbal aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
All right.
Much. The meeting is adjourned. We look forward to people joining us for the historic preservation workshop on the 17th and in future for public comment. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.